SOFI update here on the 2nd. So this video will be pretty important, I think, just to look at some different scenarios, even though this was completely wrong. And they screwed us. I mean, what else can you say? They definitely screwed us. They manipulated the stock. We had good earnings, and they completely destroyed that move. So going back to the drawing board, though, where are we? If you look at this chart, what looks very similar? To me, this move right here looks almost identical to this move. So, if we're in that move, though, where would we be at? I think it looks like this area right here is the same as this area right here. We likely did this move down. And so, honestly, I would expect a bounce after the last couple of days. We should get a bounce. First thing to look at is, are there any gaps? And yes, there is a gap at 546. 546 is the little bit past the 0.38 fib. So I could see it going all the way back up to 546, maybe the 0.5 fib here at 563. I don't think that they're going to take it straight down if it's going to go down. So I think that we should be looking for a bounce here soon. I personally I bought puts today and I made like 100% like within an hour because of how crazy this move down was. But I have sold puts that are down a bunch. I'm not worried about those though because I'll just get assigned and then I can just sell cover calls. Let's do the wheel strategy. But I think next we should be looking for a bounce. But I would also, I'm not too optimistic that we're going to get a bounce and then go up to new highs or anything like that. I think it's likely this pattern plays out and it ends up being the same thing. A, B, C, like that. You can see I have the parallel lines drawn. I don't like being bearish, but you have to look at the chart and see what you see. I think that we should get a bounce, and that should be a good time if you have some options. You can sell some covered calls. You can take profit on your sold puts. But I think this pattern is likely to play out down here. And then what would that end up being? It's likely that this is going to end up being, if this plays out, it's going to be some kind of triangle. So that means we'd probably go up and touch the top of this parallel line again sometime later in the summer, maybe going into next earnings. So this was not the earnings. We got stuck in this area again. And it looks like we're probably going to bounce and go lower. Alternative bullish ways of looking at the chart, I would say the only thing I see that could potentially happen would be if this is A and then we have A and this is an expanded flat and we get a B wave and get a C wave up here. But even that would still end up being A, B, and we come down here. So I don't see that many patterns that are very bullish unless this is a short C wave because it has not broken below the low. So technically you could still consider this a first wave, second wave, and a third wave going higher. It's still possible. But just looking back at prior moves and the way this is sold off the last couple of days, it's really hard for me to say, oh yeah, we're going to go up to $9 now. So I would say that this is probably the pattern that I'm looking at most. So if we get this bounce, remember that this looks like a second wave. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So second wave has to go to the 0.5 fib. Can't break above the top here at 654. And so you just use this bounce that's coming up, most likely, as a chance to hedge your position for the rest of the move down if it looks like we're going to go down. So that's pretty much all to say right now. We broke below all those demand zones. There's like a weekly demand zone down in this area. But we'll have to see what happens tomorrow after FOMC. But I would say I'm looking for a bounce to a minimum of 546. So we'll see if that plays out or not. But I'll leave it at that. Leave me a comment and tell me if you see something different on the chart. What is your technical analysis saying for you? And please like, it helps the channel. Subscribe if you like the content. And I'll catch you in the next video.